Welcome to the Miller Report. Everybody knows today's guest, but now today's guest is the most important voice in all of politics in New York, the country, and the whole world is watching. I know my phone has been blowing up by everybody asking what our guest has to say about New York politics. We're going to welcome John Catsimatidis to the Miller Report. We're going to hear things up close that's never been heard before. Stay tuned.
Well, thank you, Suzanne, for having me. This New York City election, and we have 4, 5, 6 days left, is the most important election for New York City ever. New York City has been the greatest city in the world. It's the capitalist city of the world. It has the best police department in the world, and we're about to have a problem. And I have urged everybody in New York City, if you haven't voted often, this is the year you have to go out and vote. Vote, vote, vote. And you know how President Trump said it? Fight, fight, fight. And we're not going to give up New York City. Look what happened to San Francisco, a greatest city on the West Coast. I mean, I love San Francisco. You can't even walk around San Francisco. Look what happened to Chicago, another great city. I can't understand the Democratic governor of Illinois and J.B. Pritzker. I think, as President Trump said, I think his family threw him out at the Hyatt Empire because they didn't want him to ruin the company. And the fact is, he's ruining Chicago. He's ruining Illinois. We want, our country has had a lot of problems. In the last 2, 3, 4 years, our country is under attack in so many ways. Drugs, fentanyl. I mean, it's been coming in like killing. Last year, it killed over 100,000 Americans. You know what 100,000 Americans a year means? It's like a 737 airplane going down every day. 300 people.
John, we're approaching 25 years of the World Trade Center collapse. And I am particularly sensitive about this because I was in the towers and my husband passed away several months later. And I don't even understand how we're questioning how any of these rumors started and how we are where we are at this point, because it was the worst day of my life. And I don't know how we ever can get to this point that we're fighting about who was harmed and who was not harmed. This is just really hurtful.
He has friends that may have participated in it. And I'm not talking about friends from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. Last week, it was in the New York Post and other newspapers. He had his arm around the gentleman that, I use the word gentleman, the possible terrorist that was involved in 9/11. And he, he is from Uganda, and Uganda has other problems. And he supported people in Uganda that create a lot of other problems. Now, the way I look at it, he hates the Jewish community. He doesn't like the Italian community any better. He hates wealthy people. And Suzanne, 1% of New Yorkers pay 48% of the taxes. I mean, how much more do you want to pay? I mean, New Yorkers.
Where did he come from, John?
We're resilient. We're willing to pay more. But don't chase us away.
So where do you think he came from, and how did he get this so much traction?
I believe, look, in June or July, I forget, he had 1%. Nobody knew his name. Nobody wanted to know his name. He had 5 employees. And the item that the last debate that came out that really knocked me out, it said, 80% of the votes in the assembly, he was an assemblyman, 80% of the votes in the assembly, he never attended. What kind of politicians? How did they create this person? Now, the Department of Justice has opened up an investigation. Where did this money come from? And they have small amounts, 15,000, 50,000. I don't know whatever. And then the people try to justify it and say, well, it doesn't matter the amount. But I believe he went from 1% to 40% because tens of millions of dollars of foreign money was involved. And where did he come from? Uganda. Now, I don't know much about Uganda. I don't think anybody else knows much about Uganda. But it turns out that he has pictures. When he went on that trip to Uganda for 2 weeks, it's a compound. It's locked in with armed guards. He's a multi-zillionaire in Uganda. His mom was a movie producer, and all her movies were funded by foreign entities. And he had his own picture taken with people that hate. We talked about the Jewish community. We talked about the Italian community. We talked about the real estate industry that hates gays. And New York is a big gay community. And I don't think the gay community knows that the fact is that I know we're going to be taking a page in the New York Post because we think that I have a lot of gay friends. I think they have to be aware of what they really stand for.
You're very close with the president.
Yes. I know him for 45, 50 years.
What is your guess that he will do if you do find this out?
The president is very, very involved. He loves New York City. He grew up in New York City. He made a lot of money in New York City with his success on some of the most beautiful buildings you've ever seen. He's not going to allow New York to go on the 25th anniversary of 9/11. He's not going to allow New York to go to a socialist and lose New York. He's going to do whatever he has to do to make sure. Now, this guy, Zoram.
That leaves us, what does that mean? Is he going to arrest him, John?
No, this guy, Zoram, he made promises. Free this, free that, free food, free train rides, free bus rides. He can't deliver. We know. It's like Fidel Castro praying to his people. And don't forget, me and Curtis were down in Cuba together.
We're going to get into all that. The world wants to know, what's Trump going to do? Is he going to arrest him? What's your guess?
No, the Department of Justice is doing their own investigation. It's up to them what's going to happen. My prediction months ago, WABC was the first one to say that if he accepted tens of millions of dollars in foreign money and did not disclose it, and he knew it was foreign money, you can go to jail for that.
Let's move on. Let's stay with New York. You love New York.
I love New York. And we're not going to allow New York to go down.
J.P. Morgan just announced and just opened its offices, and it's going to be $3 billion, their new headquarters.
No, you're wrong.
Tell me.
It's between $4 and $5 billion.
Okay, and they're also in play to buy the Roosevelt.
And I'm supposed to go on a tour on it tonight.
And they also are in play to buy the Roosevelt Hotel for their employees. So there's some. I mean, they still are here in New York. How fast do you think New York could fall? What do you see happening?
I see that we said before, 1% of New Yorkers pay 48% of the taxes. Mm-hmm. Guess what? All the cops. There's 300,000 employees of New York that depend on their pension.
Right.
Well, if 1% that pay the 48% of taxes, if half of them leave, guess what? There's going to be a shortfall. And guess what? Albany is not going to pay because they don't have the money. Guess what? Well, President Trump, he's not going to give them federal money to get free train rides. I mean, if the rest of the country is paying, why should they get free train rides or free bus rides? I mean, this is, growing up, and I'm much older than a lot of people. Growing up, it used to be a Superman comic called Bizarro World. This is Bizarro World. If I can't get it for free, I don't want it. Now, you know what else happened, Suzanne? That they opened up the gates. President Biden, for 4 years, opened up the gates and tens of millions of people came in. Maybe 10, maybe 15. Nobody really knows the number. Venezuela emptied out their jails, emptied out their hospitals, and sent them here. We took the Venezuelan kids, and they're beautiful kids, but without testing them, for diseases or anything like that, sat them next to our kids in public schools. I mean, enough is enough. You can't do that. We can't save the whole world. The New Yorkers are the most generous people around, but we can't save the whole world.
We already are in debt of $300 billion.
If the people that say screw the billionaires, if they decided to get up and leave, you're going to have a problem, and those pensions are going to have a problem. And the other 40 red states in the United States, and you say to them, oh, we can't pay our bills because we're supporting a socialist. You know what they're going to tell you? How do you say it in Brooklyn? Ungats.
Let's move over to somebody that you love and have supported, and is probably the most important man in New York City elections right now. And he's a friend and been a guest at this station. Let's talk about Curtis Sliwa.
He's a wonderful person.
John, what do you want to tell him right now if he's listening to you?
He's a wonderful person. There's nobody that knows New York City better than Curtis Sliwa. He knows every subway station. He knows every street. He worked his tail off. For the last 40 years with the Guardian Angels. I've supported the Guardian Angels for the last 40 years. But, Curtis, we love you. We're always going to love you. But, you know what I'm saying? Is New York City is more important than any one individual.
Is he listening to you?
No.
Is he listening?
I hope he listens a little bit.
And
it's up to him.
I understand that he quit. I happened to have been in the studio that day. Are you going to hire him back?
Curtis has a job in WABC for the rest of his life, and he knows it. We're brothers. Do brothers get angry at each other? Do they kiss and make up? Yes.
I hope you're listening, Curtis, because we do need to save New York. So I was at your press conference, and you did vote for Andrew Cuomo.
I voted for Andrew Cuomo because I talked to the president. I had dinner with the president last week, and he's dedicated to New York City. He doesn't want to see a socialist become mayor of New York City, and he feels that Andrew Cuomo, who I guess he was governor for 11 months, he made a lot of mistakes. Andrew, I love you, but you made a lot of mistakes. But I think, look what happened with President Trump. He was a good president for 4 years. Then he was on the beach. Is that the way you call about it, executives? Being on the beach for 4 years. He became a super president for this period of time. And I believe that Andrew Cuomo realizes the mistakes he made, and he's going to be a super mayor for the next 4 years.
Are you watching these polls?
I'm watching the polls, but I think the New Yorkers, the Jews, the Italians, the Germans, the Irish, everybody, the white people, the real estate owners, the people that drive cabs, the Ubers, the people that work hard, the busboys, the waiters. Guess what? Go out and vote, because we don't want to lose New York City. You know who gets hurt? It's not the billionaires that get hurt. They'll move to Miami and have a great life. Carl Icahn moved to Miami. He's having a great life. People move to Florida. People move. You know that J.P. Morgan has more employees in Texas than they do in New York. So what does that do? J.P. Morgan will survive. Bank of America will survive. You know who's not going to survive? The middle-class New Yorkers that don't have enough money to move. And that's the people you're punishing it. And we love New York. And what did President Trump say? Fight, fight, fight. And go out there and vote, vote, vote. And make sure your relatives vote. Make sure your neighbors vote. This is not the time to say somebody else will vote. This is the time where everybody has to go out there and vote.
Well, I'm in every taxi telling them, John.
And you're doing a great job doing that. I can't take a taxi without seeing you at least 4 times.
So, John, what's next for you?
And I love New York. I don't want to leave. If Jack Citarelli wins in New Jersey, maybe I should move to New Jersey. But I love New York. Fight, fight, fight. And you know what I say? In my heart, I know he knew he accepted foreign money to gain fame. Otherwise, nobody knows who he was. He hired 200 people on the streets of New York to go and make sure they vote.
100,000. He's got 100,000 people on the street.
Okay, and guess what? If he knew he got foreign money, go directly to jail. Do not pass go. You will not be at City Hall on January 1.
Well, I think that's a wrap. Thank you for coming on the Miller Report. We got to fight. John Catsimatidis is the most beloved businessman in New York. He's got grocery stores. He's got real estate. He's building buildings.
My people.
He cares about New York.
Our Gristini stores, our Sloan stores, or D'Agostino stores were open to midnight. They were open 24 hours a day. My employees don't want to work 24 hours a day. They're scared. We got to support the NYPD, the New York Police Department, because this guy, Moldami, he's not going to support the police department. He's said it many, many times that he's not going to support them. The most experienced NYPD people are leaving. Ray Kelly, who was the best commissioner we ever had, announced the other day he is supporting Cuomo. Not necessarily that he likes him, but he's supporting Cuomo, and he thinks, there's no comparison. Cuomo is 100 times, 1,000 times better than having a socialist Moldami.
And I hope for those of you who are listening, we'll talk to Curtis Sliwa, because Curtis, we love you, but you have to do the right thing for your family, for you, New York, for all the people that support you.
For his 3 kids that are in New York.
So, John, when you think about New York and you think about you and I, we've done it already, our kids, our grandkids, what do you want to tell them?
I'm going to tell all the kids, I went to NYU, and I was an immigrant, and I came here as an immigrant. I went to NYU for 4 years, 5 days a week. There's no more 3.5 days those days. It was 5 days a week at NYU. And guess what? There's no free ride. If you lose New York, it's the greatest city in the world, you lose your future. You know why? Any place in New York, if you bought this building for $1 million, 5 years from now, it's worth $5 million. If you buy this building for $1 million in Kansas City, 5 years from now, it's worth $1 million too. Success comes in New York. You want to succeed? New York is the greatest city in the world. Don't ruin the city. Go out and vote.
So thank you. Thank you for coming on the Miller Report, John. We always love you. And thanks for the opportunity that you have given us and your love for New York.
I hope we get to celebrate November 5th.